Well, now there's a bit of a problem. What have we got here? Ooh. Okay, yes. Probably don't need the water in there, do we? That's rusted off. Okay. Fortunately caught by the hibiscus and a bit of rope to stop it turning. Let's take that off. And there we go. Back down the ground. Where it does not belong. Looks like that's rusted through rather well. Better fix it. To grind, well, to cut at least. Let's take a look. Yeah, that. This is that. Hot. Well, sort of hot. Well, that's pretty badly corroded there, I'd say. So you can see how deep the concrete is, or the surface of the concrete here below the grass. So it's... guess you need a power tool to get that out of there. Don't you hate it when they get stuck? Old school. Well, now that's interesting. Maybe it's not apparent, but here it's very much corroded. Once you get down to the level of the concrete though, it's very smooth all the way around. It's not actually corroded down here in the cement or the what's concrete. But, so if this had just been up to the end here, it wouldn't have corroded. And now I've made a bit of a mistake. I put some water in there instead of using a vacuum cleaner or something like that to mechanically remove the dust. Now there's a lot of water in here. Let's go see what happens. Well, the hammer's definitely got it loose, or showing it's loose, especially when you go from one direction to the other direction. Very loose. And that's how you get it out. No mess, no fuss. This is kind of what I was talking about. The bit under or in the concrete is really not corroded. Like, it really is not corroded. It's the bit that was sticking out. And now you can see just how good. Obviously this is getting past some stones in the concrete, which is why I had to hit it with the hammer every now and again as I was turning it to try and pull it out. But also see how thick this is. I believe it's about 4mm thick steel, and it looks like it's been galvanized, judging by the color. Obviously the galvanizing zinc coating can only do so much, and then it starts to rust. But ironically, it's right over here that it really took a pounding. Okay, obviously not just the hammer pounding, haha, but how thin that steel is there from corrosion compared to that. Don't forget to clean your tools. A quick wipe down with a rag soaked in a bit of, some sort of solvent, maybe terps or whatever. And that goes a long way to stop them from rusting, keeping them nice and shiny and great for when you reach for them the next time. See, took a lot of abuse. But looks like new. Well, maybe not new. Okay, so despite trying several tricks to get this out, you can have a look in here. It's rather tight in there. Trying to get you to have a look in here, but used a bit of fire, soaked it first, various petrochemicals to try and thin it out. It does spin a lot easier, but I think that's just the bearing has had all the old grease soaked out of it. There's a bearing in there. So I think the next step is to try and take off the cap on the other side, on the bottom. Okay, so it's got 3 screws, but they need a little bit of a cleanup in terms of the slot in the head here. It's just the paint is coming out quite easy. Yeah. And now I can screwdriver. Screws are made of brass. Interesting. Thread's pretty good. And yes, I did give it a bit of a tap of the hammer off camera. So. Yeah. Bit of a rubber seal or gasket. Yeah, that looks wonderful. Trying to touch that. Soak through here. Suppose that's from pouring various petrochemicals into it, right? Now, there we go. Another screw there. Also brass, looks the same size as the other one. Okay, well that's pretty loose there. Yeah, same size. Retaining plate. Yeah, that's rather nasty looking there. That's why you should wear gloves if you're doing anything with grease, especially old grease. Now, to figure out what's going on here, I wonder if you can get these pins out. Hang on a sec. I don't think those pins are going anywhere. The vice grips just maul the sides of them and make it a bit rough, squash it. I think it's clean it out rather. Get some thinners and paintbrush and see what we can do there. So right in the middle here, seems to be some sort of pin, probably onto which this piece of pipe or tubing has been driven. So to push that out of this bearing, or push the whole bearing and the pin out in one go, might be a way to get access to this pipe to be able to pull it off the shaft, this shaft. Looks like we've got the original colour for the brown. In fact, looking over here, looks like this was the original arms which have been cut short to make it, well, probably because they rusted through, and there's a lot of silicon on here as well. Okay, I'll try and drive this out a bit. Bit of a hammer and a bolt. Working. Get a crowbar in there. Yes, that's what that's. Some interesting bits and pieces in here. That looks loose in there. So having disassembled the washing line into its component parts allowed me to take the shaft, which is made of tubular steel, to a steel merchant and find a piece of 25mm diameter round bar and get that sent for galvanizing along with the tubular steel shaft. And once I got those two back from galvanizing, then I painted those white, just like I'm painting the bit for the arms here. And once we got it all painted up, then we could reassemble it and embed the anchor pin, that 25mm diameter round bar, into the concrete. I think we've got it pretty plumb now. Pretty good for a washing line.